Welcome to our Emergency Preparedness video series. This is one of 12 videos that will become available during this year, one each month. First, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Jennifer Ponce, the Office of Emergency Services Coordinator for the City of Morgan Hill.
And I'm Randy Christensen, an instructor for Morgan Hill's Community Emergency Response Team. Being prepared for disasters and emergencies can seem like a big job. Many people don't know where to start, so they never start at all. Do One Thing is a 12-month program and has been adopted nationally by emergency services of many counties. The program makes it easy for you to prepare yourself, your family, and your community for emergencies or disasters. The goal of this presentation is to help you safely meet your family's unique family needs during a disaster.
Our objectives are threefold. Include all family members in a discussion about the unique needs that your family may have in a disaster. Many pets are considered family members. Make sure that their needs are met as well. And 3, individuals with disabilities or existing health challenges will have special requirements that need to be considered and planned for. Create evacuation plans that will cover different scenarios and disasters.
Every family and household has their unique needs and challenges. Do you have an infant, a young child, or a senior citizen residing in your home? Does a member of your family have existing medical issues or other health issues? Do you have a pet or pets?
Think about those things that members of your household couldn't do without in a 72-hour period. Examples are special formulas and foods needed by infants and young children, prescription and maybe some over-the-counter medications, health-related supplies. An example would be a diabetic who may need insulin, syringes, glucose meters, and testing supplies. Devices for the visually impaired or those with mobility challenges. Do you have a pet with a special diet or medication? Do you have a cat that will need a litter box? How about other animals that will need special containers for travel?
When people wait to the last minute to gather items for an evacuation, they many times forget small and important items. Your children and pets may have difficulties trying new brands or different types of foods. These adjustments can be quite stressful for them. Many items like pet food and diapers may be difficult to find after a disaster.
Talk to your kids about what they should do in the event of different disasters, such as a house fire, a wildfire, a medical emergency, and other disasters that could possibly happen in your area. Make sure they know where you keep the emergency supplies, how to call 911, and what to expect when talking to a 911 dispatcher. Who could your child call or contact in the event you cannot be reached in an emergency?
There is the possibility that you'll be away from your home and pet when a disaster strikes. Your neighborhood may be evacuated. You could be literally trapped somewhere else and unable to get home. Make advanced plans on how you're going to take care of your pets if you can't get home to them.
Is it possible to ask a neighbor that you trust to be a pet disaster guardian? They can be the one to check up on your pets if you're not home. They might be able to take your pets with them if and when an evacuation is ordered. Make sure that this pet disaster guardian and your pet are comfortable with each other and that the guardian knows where the pet supplies such as leashes, carriers, and food are located.
A couple of important things to remember concerning pets. You won't be able to take your pets inside most emergency shelters. Your local animal control agency can possibly offer suggestions about options. For safety reasons, for both the pets and people, animals will need to be in approved carriers when transported by emergency buses.
Individuals with disabilities are more greatly affected by disasters than others in the community. Accessible services are many times not available, and disasters can lead to evacuations. If you or a family member have a disability, make sure to create plans dependent upon the different types of disasters that may happen in your community.
When a disaster happens, there is a possible chance that paratransit services may not be available. Take the time now to contact your local paratransit provider and find out what services will be provided if and when an evacuation is ordered. If paratransit services will not be available during an evacuation, arrange for someone else to pick you or your loved one up when the evacuation is ordered. Make sure they will always come to pick you up unless you tell them not to. If you can't evacuate, call 911 and let them know of your problem and location.
Take the time to sign up for your community's emergency notification system. For residents of Santa Clara County, the application's name is Alert SCC and is available for iPhones and Android phones. San Benito and Santa Cruz counties use the Code Red application. Both of these only automatically register and call landline phones. Cell phones and voice-over internet phones will need to be registered manually when you sign up for those applications. It is recommended that if you live, work, or have loved ones in different communities, that you sign up for those related community alert systems.
Talk to the organization that will provide emergency sheltering in your community. This will probably be the Red Cross. Come to an understanding of what needs of yours they can meet at the shelter. By knowing how they can help with and what they can supply you with will help you understand what you need to bring so you're properly supported. When having to consider emergency sheltering, you'll want to think about whether the shelter has accessible entrances and bathrooms. They are required to be considered as an American Red Cross shelter. Think about what methods of communication is available with the shelter staff, what type of medical services will be available, and what type of assistive devices you may need. If you have a service animal, talk to them about what they can provide for that animal. Remember, comfort animals and pets will not be allowed in the shelter.
In review, we have covered 3 basic areas to address when dealing with your household's unique needs. We discussed how to find out about your family's unique needs. This should include loved ones who don't reside in your home, but are your responsibility. We have discussed making emergency and evacuation plans for your pets in the event of an emergency. This should include plans on how to have them taken care of in the event that you're away from them. We've talked about challenges you may encounter when trying to evacuate a loved one who has disabilities or health challenges. This might even be you. Create plans for different types of disasters that will enable evacuations safely and quickly. Thank you for your time. This concludes the Do One Thing presentation on unique family needs.